Hello and welcome to Edupedia World. So now it's time to take a look at how you can mask out images. So here I've got a picture of a Coca-Cola can, and I will just drag that onto this new composition button, and here we go. We have now got a composition with our image, and what I want to do is simply cut out this can. So I know there are some droplets here on the sides. I will just ignore those and cut straight through them, but I want to just remove the white background. You could do that by just using a color key to just wipe out the white background, but this is to show how you can use a mask. So let's do that instead. So how do I create a mask for this layer? First you want to just select the layer, go into the composition, you want to select the layer, and then you want to press G on the keyboard. So you can see that activated the pen tool, and this is actually the same way that shape layers work. You can just go in and start clicking and dragging, and then you will pretty quickly be able to make a shape that follows whatever you want. These are called Bezier splines, the ones I'm using to do this. You can always go back in and add new points. You can also remove points. So you don't have to be way too precise here in the beginning, because you can always go in and change it up later. So as you can see now, I've finished my shape, and I'm ready to start refining. So I want a point here in this in the middle, as I have over here. So what I do is just, you can see when I hover over the line, the pen tool, a little plus pops up besides the pen tool. So I'll just click, and now I've got a new point. Then I'll press V to get my selection tool, and I will start refining this. And then I can just very precisely go in and change the mask. You can see these small handles. I can go in and drag those around to fit my shape better, but I don't need it here. So you can see I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing where the edge is. I have to like move the mask away to see where where the edges are, and there's a cool trick you can use to make this easier. So if you go into the settings and then open up the masks and pick your mask, you can see this one is the green one, and mine is green as well. So if you open that up, or actually don't know, you don't have to do that. You can just go over to this little drop down menu, and then instead of setting it to add, you can set it to none, and that way the mask doesn't actually do anything just yet. It's just a shape, and that way you can see the whole picture, and it makes it a bit easier to place the mask. So you can see I'm just going around here. I want to drag this one in a bit to sharpen up the corner, but I don't want to sharpen up the other side. And I'll maybe drag this in, and let's say this is good for now. Here's our shape. We can now set this back to add, and our mask will be working once again. Let's add another point right here, because there are some white from the background that you don't want. So let's just pull this in, and here we are. This is looking alright. Yeah, so there's a bit of white, but well, I spent like 2 minutes doing this, so I am pretty happy with this. So as you can see now, this is all cut out. If we want to, we can create a solid and make it composition size, and let's pick a gray color, and we can drag it beneath the can, and as you can see, the can is now on top of this. Here, besides the mask, there are these this drop down menu. You can set this to add, and that means we have this shape, and it's like a closed shape of this can, and when you set it to add, that means that whatever is inside this shape will be shown, and whatever is outside of the shape will not be shown. So this part out here becomes invisible. Instead of setting it to add, you can set it to subtract, and that will do the opposite. So that means it will cut a hole where the little area is, and then leave the rest behind. So you can see we have the gray solid behind, and it's just a hole. There are some different settings like intersect, lighten, darken, difference. These settings down here are a little bit more complex, and they require more shapes on one layer. Some of them do. So yeah, let's just try something more with this. So let's say we want to change this color from white to, let's say, blue or some other color. We can actually do that. We can also just cut a hole. Let's actually do that instead. So we now want to take this white area and just cut a hole instead. So we will select our layer and press G, and we are ready to draw our mask. So I'll just click in the corner and then start dragging until it fits, and I will do this pretty quickly so you don't have to sit and wait, and also because I want to refine the mask afterwards. Maybe red isn't a very good color for this, so I will just quickly change the mask color to something like blue, and there we go. Now it's much easier to see. So I will just press V and then go in and refine it, because it's hard to make it perfect in the first try. It's way easier to just make a quick shape and then go in and refine it until it's perfect. I'm just putting it right here in this area where the color fades, because that's where the actual edge will be. So now this area has been masked, but nothing has happened yet, and that's because the mask 2, which is the blue one, has already also been set to add. So this just says whatever is inside of this area has to be shown, but also the green mask says whatever is in this larger area has to be shown. So it's like showing the same thing twice, and that just means this area will be shown. Let's try and remove it instead. So say, instead of add, set it to subtract, and now we can see that this area is now gone. We can now easily adjust the mask to remove all these small imperfections in the mask where there are white spill. And as you can see, we've now got a very nice mask. We could take a new solid and let's make this blue, and put this behind where this line is. Put it behind the can and stretch it. Okay, so now you can see the blue is filling the whole little area here, but it's going over the sides, and here you can also use the mask to change that. So we'll just create a very quick mask. Click, click. This doesn't have to be precise at all, just a few clicks like this, and you can see the excess blue is now gone. So we've now changed our Coca-Cola can to have a blue stripe instead of a white one. So yeah, that wasn't probably very useful for like design, but it proves a very useful technique. Thank you for watching Edupedia World. Stay tuned for more videos.